Hello, sweaty pepperoni. This is Blazemallow, and you're listening to Masters in Japanese, Episode 9 An Uneducated Yap About Dragons. Okay, so let's talk about dragons for a second. Like I said, mentioned just earlier, there's I I have had have had a fascination of these mythical creatures for quite some time now. I think part of it would be because of How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, it's a really cool movie. But except for that, even the idea of a creature, of a reptilian creature with bat like wings that flies and breathes fire is just, it is interesting. I can't say it isn't. I don't know who would find that uninteresting. Maybe somebody who doesn't like fantasy that much. But yeah, and the and just to think about, like, firstly, let's just talk about its anatomy. Okay, its anatomy is all over the place. Literally, you cannot pinpoint what it is. Look at the thumbnail I used. I saw that picture on Canva when I was making the thumbnail, and I instantly thought it was a dragon. Why? It had the face of a flipping dinosaur. Okay? It was breathing fire. It had wings. It's a dragon now. That's so weird. Like, literally, look at how to train your dragon, and you'll see the exact same idea. All it has to be is a reptile with wings, and it flies. But wait, that isn't the only thing that's called a dragon. Yeah, here's where it starts to get weird, because apparently that's Western ideology. Okay, that's like all of the Western ideology of idea of dragons. In the East, dragons don't have wings. Okay, and more than half the time they don't even breathe fire. There are like two main types of dragons. One is called Shen, the other I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called the Asian dragon. The usual Asian dragon, I guess, flies around without wings. The other one even also flies around without wings. And that here's the fun thing. Without except for fire, they would have the magical abilities. Yes, that's true. This is literally, you can search on this. And don't search like what are the basics of a dragon, because if I try to search that even today again, and it still shows me the Western idea. But when I go take a deep dive and try to find out, okay, what were the dragons in this specific area? Like what type of dragons did people believe in? It would be completely different from another place. In Africa, there was an mythical creature that can be considered a dragon, and it didn't breathe fire. It didn't have wings. It was just a flipping giant snake. I'm not joking with you. I saw that thing, and I was like, I didn't see it obviously. I read about that thing, and I was like, how? It doesn't breathe fire. It doesn't have any of the things that dragons have. The only thing that can connect it to a dragon is that it's a reptile. But then I started to notice another thing that connected all of these dragons. Any dragon you took, that they have to be magical. And that confused me further because I thought, like, I mean, in fantasy, everything is magical, right? Like, so why is it so specific that dragons are magical? So I'm looking at this African dragons, like there are people who have made artworks on it. I really like them. And then you go to like Christianity, and then there's the Leviathan. That's also considered a dragon. You go to Southeast Asia, in the city of Chitral in Pakistan. There's a concept of dragon there. You go to China, there's a concept of dragon there. You go to Japan, there's a concept of dragons over there. You go to France, they have a completely abnormal version of a dragon that was flabbergasted at. It's called, I think, a thorask or something like that. Let me just open my phone and see what was it called again. Okay, so what the flip? Why is it moving? Oh yeah, there it is. So a ter I don't know how to spell it. I think it's a trask. A Tarasque. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just like this creature that walks around. It has a strong shell or some type of stuff. I'm sorry, I don't remember most of the things I read anymore because I did I did this research in June of 2024, and now I'm yapping about it on 24th January of 2025. So please bear with me. And like, yeah, and then there are even lists of the most famous type of dragons. There's literally a dragon that's called a fairy dragon or a fey dragon. Literally. What's the difference? Oh, it has butterfly wings instead of bat-like wings. I mean, yeah, you can let that happen. And then there's the Wyvern. The Wyvern is basically, I would say, for pop culture, take the monstrous nightmare. Don't fixate on like fire all over its body, but fixate on the fact that its wings and its front limbs are the same. Like its front limbs have the wings. That's a Wyvern. And then there's a Dragonet. That's basically from the images that I could find. It was just like a dinosaur, but with dragon wings. Like by dinosaur, I mean a two-legged dinosaur, like a T-Rex type dinosaur, but with wings. A basilisk is kind of weird because what I could find were basilisks with 8 legs, which is I don't know, like a really fat thing, or like it was basically it had 8 legs, but apparently in Harry Potter, like basically changed the idea of a basilisk because J.K. Rowling took the idea of a basilisk, as in the dragon basilisk, with if you look at its dead in the eye, you would get petrified or you would die. And she took the body of a worm, a WYRM, worm. I'm sorry, my accent is wrong, so I might be saying them completely wrong. So a worm is just like it's just the giant snake dragons that I talked about earlier with in Africa. Those are worms, and this is Western stuff that I could find. And then there's the dragon. The normal dragon is just called a dragon, or in I guess in Latin it would be called dracon. Like just change the G to a K, and it would be dracon. And those are like the basic, the basics that they show. I think in Lord of the Rings even they showed it, those reptilian giants who are like quadrupedal with wings on their back. Yeah, those are dragons. And then if you remove the wings from them, then you get Drake. Yeah, I'm not talking about the uh, rapper. I'm talking about an actual dragon. I swear to God, if Drake took the name of a creature, that's just weird, bro. But anyways, and then there's the amphitheater, which from the images, if I try to remember, it was just like a just take a normal dragon, but remove its legs and give it the wings only of a wyvern, I guess. And for then there's a coatyl, Coatyl, which has like bird-like wings, feathered wings. It's basically an amphitheater, but like with feathered wings. Then you got the good old Hydra. The nine-headed, I guess. It was nine-headed or three-headed. Either way, it's basically the creature from Greek mythology that one Greek legend, legendary hero, like Slade or something like that. I'm really, I should have revised, revised for this, but yeah. Then you got the Hydra. So like, if I remember correctly, they also had like they could regenerate maybe or maybe not, something around along the lines of that. And then you got Arctic dragons. I mean, if you got all other types of dragons, sure, you can have Arctic dragons. Maybe that's fake. I don't know. I'm looking at an image that I found on the internet. If you search types of dragons, you get this like page with like a small list of like I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, 13, 13 dragons shown on it with drawings of them. And then there's the Sea Orc, and then there's the Asian dragon. But yeah, in a nutshell, every single place that humanity has been to, there's some type of creature that is like a dragon. So that brings the question that like, why are people like, why are we so much like so much hyped about making lizards into these ferocious beasts. Like, I don't know why. I mean, if I try to like think about it, I mean, humans have had a fear of snakes for a long time because like snakes would kill us. So I guess maybe it's from that. I guess maybe it's just like stories to make them look epic. Lizards look creepy even, so you just make dragons. But then the question arises that not all cultures used to make dragons evil, apparently, because if you go to the east again, in for example, in China, dragons are basically gods. I don't know if they were evil or good, but like they were gods basically. And then if you go to the west, in fantasy stories about knights, they were monsters, they were devils, they were beasts. You go to Christianity, it gets Leviathan. So yeah, that's the weird world of dragons. Like, I think it might dragons might have come from the idea of chimeras. I mean, chimera, as much as I know, in a nutshell, is just fusing various creatures together. One of the most famous that I have recognized that, like, if you search chimera, that type of creature comes up, is a lion, a fusion of a lion, a goat, and a snake. That's like the most famous version of a chimera. And then there's even a fish, I think, in real life that's called a chimera. But anyways, yeah. So dragons. I was like, I don't know why I wanted to talk about it. I've been feeling like talking about it ever since I made episode one of Masters in Japanese, because if you saw my first episode, that was about dinosaurs, and I was like, what's the next thing after dinosaurs that I really like? Oh yeah, dragons. But I guess I forgot about it. I found other things I really wanted to do, so I did that. And the question that I've had after realizing all of this, after seeing, like, there's even like an Egyptian dragon. Oh my god! Like, there's so many. Just literally, you just have to search that. Okay, what were the dragon? What concept of dragons were in this region or that region? You would at least find one after some research. So yeah, I mean, the question that arises is, okay, if I want to make my own dragon, what are the simplest things that I need to pinpoint, that yeah, I have to tick these boxes, after which I can make a dragon. And to be honest, I I don't know. The most basic thing that I can find is that you need to make it a reptile. Best be a snake. Okay, just make a snake. Make a snake. Put some legs on it. Put wings on it. And you get the basic level of a dragon. Remove the legs, but remove the wings. Make it giant. It's a worm, or like an African dragon, or like, I guess. And if you make it float, like fly without wings, it has that type of magic. It's an Asian dragon. So I guess in the nutshell, you just need to make a reptile that has magical abilities. But it's still like, I still like think about it, and I'm like, where did the idea come from? Because I found about this channel called Animal Logic. I think they talked about it, or some other channel talked about it. That where did the Greeks get the idea of those one-eyed giants, Cyclops, not the Marvel one, the Greek version. The weird humans, giant humans with one giant eye. And one of the ideas that I saw in that video was that basically dwarf elephants, there used to be a species of elephants that were small, not smaller, like really small. I can't, but like compared to elephants, they were small, and basically, by the time the Greeks showed up, dwarf elephants were around about dead. So, and an interesting thing about elephants is that the place where their trunks are, I guess, or like where their eyes are, that space where the bones should be disappears after some time. After like some degradation, it just disappears. and so it makes it look like a one giant hole for an eye. So maybe the Greeks thought about it like that. So I'm just thinking that what if in the past many people found dinosaur bones and were like, huh, nah, these can't be normal giant dinosaur, giant reptiles. Nah, 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 nah. They need to breathe fire. No, 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 no. They need to float in the sky. Oh, no, no, no. Wait, wait, wait. They need to eat moons. Yeah, that's one of those many weird dragons that I found out about. I don't remember where. I think it was the Philippines version of dragons, or like there was one country which had the idea of a dragon that like ate all of the moons except for one in the past, which led us to have only one moon. I might be saying it completely wrong, so forgive me. This is whatever I can remember from memory. I'm not gonna sit down and search and waste your time. Also, I'm just yapping. This is masters in Japanese, by the way, so I'm just gonna be yapping. But yeah, dragons. Love them or hate them, they're there. I've even like once thought about like if we could make dragons, how would we make them? And like I was going for the most basic type of dragon, the Western style one with the fire breathing and the four-legged and the wings, stuff like that. I was like, okay, I think they would be made by hybrids, but if you use hybrids, that would work. But the problem with hybrids is that you can't reproduce. There's some issue. I'm not a biologist, so I can't specify. But like there is some issue which not does not allow hybrids to reproduce. If they did, it would have led to ligers. And so and so the question that arises is, and so I was like, and so I was thinking that that the way to make dragons would be that you should we should take we need to figure out a way to um sorry about the pause. My sibling had arrived and I had to tell him to back off. So about the dragon is that the interesting thing that I found about dragons is that sorry, my mind is rolling. The thing that I thought about how to make dragons in real life would be that if we could like just get through that hybrid problem, that like if reproduction could be possible with hybrids in the future, if we could fix that problem, if that problem is fixed, then in the future it might be possible to like give, let's say, for me I was like, okay, what's a creature that could be equal to a dragon? Oh, let's take a Komodo dragon because it's called a dragon. I just did that and I was like, oh, where the wings come from? Oh, bat wings. Yeah, that would work. Like they look exactly like the drawings. Okay, bat wings. And fire breathing. What if they could like take the methane in their buttholes and like put them in their mouth, and then they could like ignite it with their teeth, kind of like the, what were they called? Those How to Train a Dragon, like dragons which had like twin heads. I don't remember their names, but like one of them used to take out the gas and the other used to spark it. So like, what if the dragon could do that? And then I was like, oh, but there might be issues with it. And that's all. See you later.